Thank you very much.
It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day.
Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
February, 12:53 p.m., Sholmes Suite. So this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. And a bit messy, huh? Is it as described in the stories, Mrs. Sato? She's like, oh my god. She's breathing heavily right now. So, Susato-san? She's happy. Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room. I suppose they must have been, yes. I never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be. The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? No. Can't you, Mrs. Naruto? Well, I don't think you can. I suppose I can. Yes, I can. So, if you don't mind, let me bask in. I'll just stand here and suck up the atmosphere for a little while longer. Please don't mind me. She's obsessed. She is a fangirl after all. And I am too. Well, it looks like our detective friend isn't home at present. Excuse me, is anybody home? The fuck did I say that? Oh, do we have a visitor? Hello! Is it a big new case for Mr. Sholmes? Hello? Wait, I know you! Aren't you? Oh, how rude of me! I'll go and make some tea at once. I'm sure it's the same girl, but a different voice apparently. Mrs. Sato, did you see the girl who was just here? Oh yes, isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case. The King of Bavaria? King Wilhelm Gottsreich Sigismund von Armerstein, of course. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Herlock Sholmes for a moment and look over here. Look over there, I mean. The tea's brewed, and I have a freshly baked cake as well. What? Ah, it's you. I knew it. Susato-san recognized her too. She had that bazooka of a gun. Ah, there you are. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. And taking that with you as well, I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. It's the girl who turned up at the end of the Mr. McGilda's trial in the defendant's antechamber. I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Poor you. Having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London. Yes, it was challenging. How do you know that? What the fuck? Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know. Oh, thank you. Is tea supposed to look that colorful? Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hooray! It's a winner! I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley? Do you? Hurley? You mean the brand? Mr. Sholmes? To you, surely. Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. Did he leave? I didn't know that. I was like, I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas. Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all those things, do you think? Even better than Mr. Sholmes, because with Mr. Sholmes, he's like second-guessing himself, and also be like, I got it wrong. Oh, well, who cares? Ha ha ha, like that. And perhaps more to the point. Why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite? Oh, silly me. I haven't introduced myself, have I? Oh, she bowed too. Oh, well-mannered girl. Holy shit. It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. I live here together with Hurley. Ah, Iris, is it? What a lovely name. What? What's the matter? No, wait. This can't be. Did you say that your name is Wilson? What's the matter with Sato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? Yes, that's right. And what are your names? Oh, I'm Yonosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan. Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely, Susie and Runo. Got it. Susie? And Runo? There's more to this girl than meets the eye. Apparently you've gotten so close that she's giving you nicknames too. I have so many questions for her, I don't know where to start. Yes, and so do I. Apparently she can read my mind again, holy shit! I shouldn't be scared and everything. Before we do that, I wanna look around here, because I've investigated thoroughly, but I can't find anything at a place. I did not... Bro, I pressed this button instead, okay. Let's look at this machine. What on earth is this huge, over-the-top machine? That's a great analytic scope. It can analyze anything really, anything at all. That's obviously incredible. Absolutely incredible, not obviously. It's one of Hurley's inventions. It took him a whole year. He said it was to help him with his investigations. What sort of things has he analyzed with it? Do you know? Well, actually, he hasn't used it for anything yet. Oh. Why not? Apparently, on the evening he finally completed it, it suddenly occurred to him. I don't actually have anything I need to analyze. Oh dear. How about you, Runo? Do you have anything you'd like to analyze? The only thing that springs to mind is this machine itself. Again, another machine to analyze the machine, I guess. Apparently well, good thing, even though there's a lot of shit over here, thank God that the game lets you by the way, this is not investigated. You can't investigate this, you can't do that. It's just only some stuff right here. The violin, of course, we can investigate. Oh, I've seen pictures of Western musical instruments like this. It's called a violin, isn't it? Of course it is. Mr. Sholmes is renowned for his violin playing. Oh, really? Absolutely. It's often explained in the stories. It's inspirational, Mr. Naruto. Inspirational! I immediately started playing the koto, which was the closest Japanese string instrument I could find. What a shame you couldn't bring it with you in London. Oh, yes. Well, Papa was beaming when I asked him if I would buy me one. But after a while, he asked if I would only practice when he was out of the house. So now it's merely an ornament in my home. Oh my god, that's so mean. So that freaking Mikotomo was like, "Oh, yeah, make sure you wear that when I'm not around, please." Like, what? That must have been an awkward conversation. Jesus Christ, that's so mean. All right, what the fuck? I just saw that the thing has a smiley face. What the hell? I never noticed that. Hey, was that bullet holes up there? The fuck? With a VR? Huh. There's all sorts of these shelves. Chemistry, apparatus, again, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high. I can't help feeling that the whole lot is going to topple at any moment. I keep telling Hurley not to cram so much on those shelves. Good advice. He wanted to look something up in one of those books a while ago. But it was so tightly wedged in, he couldn't get it out. So he went and bought a new copy instead. Brother! What about this? I never seen this before. Why are there bullet holes in this wall up there? Was Mr. Sholmes trying to shoot a pesky fly or something? Mr. Sholmes would never do something so reckless. No? Those are the letters VR, standing for Victoria Regina. It's Latin for Queen Victoria. So you mean he shot the queen into the wall? In a moment of boredom, Mr. Sholmes adorned the wall with a patriotic sign, that's all, as a pistol practice. Alright, that makes perfect sense now. It's exactly as it's described in the stories. Oh, this is delightful! And I'm not sure that the real explanation is any less reckless than shooting at a fly, personally. It's patriotic, Mr. Naruto. Patriotic! We're not in America, so I don't think it's patriotic, honestly. But I remember in the Sherlock Holmes series with Benedict Cumberbatch, he shoots the wall whenever he's frustrated when he can't solve a case. That's what it was. But I don't know about this one. I do like a fireplace. It's one of the best things I've seen since we arrived in the country, in fact. Luckily, there's no one behind that wall. Imagine he's shooting like, I can't solve a case. Boom, boom, boom. I was like, he got Mr. Watson, no! Like that. Lingering beside the fire and watching the flame flicker and dance in the grate. It's so relaxing. We can't relax, not when there's so many interesting things on the mantelpiece. Oh, it's just as it was described in the stories. It is? Yes, exactly. Inside the Persian slipper, for example. Are my chocolates for lemonises? What the fuck do you mean? And transfixed by a large jackknife. It was my shopping list for the market. Oh, she's shutting you down. Oh, it's not quite how I remember it being described in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Horses on the sun, she looks crushed. Crush, I say, crush. A good thing it's not this. Ooh, what's this in here? It looks like a huge metal chest is being used as a table for tea and coffee. It is very sturdy with an equally sturdy lock. Mr. Naruto, you mustn't go around opening things. I always have to keep an eye on you, don't I? You're very mischievous. How did you come to that conclusion? Ooh, oh, that chest contains some of the most valuable things. And that smile tells me you're not going to give us any clue about what they are. I think it's the stories or something like that. I don't know. What could be inside that? Who knows? A mystery shoe, a curious hammer, some mysterious dancing men, a bust of Napoleon? What the fuck? Why is there a bust of Napoleon there? Ah, what an entrancing collection. This is the first time in my life that I've seen a lonely old shoe display as an ornament. Oh yeah, that's so true. Why is it up there? Oh, those are all mementos that Hurley has collected from his past cases. Really? Even the bust? Yes, that's right. When the mood takes him, he likes to throw it in on the floor and smash it to dust. The poor defenseless emperor. Mr. Sholmes destroys it? Yes, and and then he buys a new one. You make it sound like he has a temperament of an insane sculptor. Ah, how entrancingly bohemian of him! Bohemian? I don't know what that means either way. I think it means like, oh my god, patriotic or whatever. I think that's everything from here, if my memory serves correctly. Yep, and then her side of the room. There's what the middle is like all collective here, like they all relax and everything. And then this side is Herlock Sholmes. But the other side, look how neat it is. Oh my god, and what is this? It's a charming little white shelf. And full of charming little bottles too. Oh yes, but don't touch any of those. They might explode. Explode? Are they exotic chemicals? Do you use them for exciting experiments? Yes, indeed. And as Hurley as always says. What he says? Oh, she does the same pose as him. Chemistry is an explosive science. Sorry? I agree. A single discovery can trigger an explosion of innovation all around the world. Or perhaps he just meant it literally. Either way, mental note, do not touch any bottle that belongs to Iris. Mental note, I will not do that. Ryunosuke, never touch Anybody's like, I should have hit my hand, what the hell? Ah, that's my blackboard, where I note down ideas. Oh, interesting, let's see. Black Peter? What does that mean? Don't you want to hear what Iris has to say, Mr. Naruhodo? I'll come back to the blackboard later. What did it mean by that, hmm? What a beautiful English tea set, and so neatly arranged. It's a favorite pastime of mine, a cup of herbal tea in the afternoon. Tea made of herbs? Who would have thought that? That's right, I'll grow all the herbs. I grow all sorts of herbs in the garden, so I can experiment with different blends. One moment, don't go away. Don't go away. I'll brew a pot of the special blend I came up earlier today. She looks delighted. I only hope it's safe to drink. I'm pretty certain anything that she makes is safe, honestly. Don't trust Herlock Sholmes or otherwise. What on earth is this big black lump over there? Ah, that fascinating thing is called a typewriter. Huh, it's a machine that allows you to write up on paper without needing a pen. Ooh, and visibly quickly too. Oh, that sounds like it could be very useful for someone like me with terrible handwriting. But it's not in Japanese, so it's only in English. Unless you know how to type in English. I think he does, not I mean, what else? Why else would he be here? That's true. Okay. Anyways, Iris, let's talk. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey? Yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you so much. About what? Oh no, not at all. I'm so sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming. Though, at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. Oh, you mean mine? Oh shit, she's pointing at us! Like this? Ah! Thinking back now, you left with Mr. Lestrade in tow, didn't you? Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade. How is she awkward? Well, then again, she gave us, she like pointed the gun at us. Oh, Jeannie, yes, she's a professional pickpocket. So we found out. And how did you not know that she took your gun away from you? How do you not know that? It was a very naughty of her to pinch my image like that. Are you referring to the trial-disrupting gun-like contraption? Exactly. So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destructive mechanism in my inventions. Oh my god, imagine that. This girl is dangerous. Anyway, I brought Jeannie back here after that, so she could apologize to me, to my trusty technician. Sorry, you're a technician? Who's that? Hurley, of course, silly. Hurley? Yes, Herlock Sholmes. We lived here together. I had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter. Daughter? Not likely. What? He's single as fuck. He can't get a bitch in his life. I'm just kidding. I think he could. Well, I think he's just mostly focused on being a detective and everything. I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I? That's true. Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes? Well, I expect you found out that the lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. So, the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate. Your roommates? How old are you? How can you afford this place? What the fuck? It looks expensive as hell. I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at last this year. Well, what of your mother and father? Oh no, they're not around. Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there. Who knows? I guess we can't really talk about it. Oh shit! I don't know. I was about to say, oh yes, but I choked right there. Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Of course, go ahead, Susie. I am a very great fan of the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes and... Oh! You have a copy of Rancid magazine? Yes, I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world. My stories? That's right. Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. So that's why it would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think? Goodness! Le gasp! It was her all along, it wasn't just freaking the other Wilson. What's his name again? John Wilson? I forgot what it said. Anyways, last night he was telling me about the loot case he just solved in a steamship traveling from faraway land. It was actually me who solved it, not him. I helped him, but he didn't solve it at all. Not at all. So I was just in the middle tying up the manuscript for the next issue before you came. So you are the author? Yes, I'll let you in on a secret. If you like, I'm going to call the latest adventure the Speckled Band. The Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar. Of course, I always change one or two details in the stories, here and there. This time, I had the idea of making the venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble. Oh, that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually. Yes, and of course, I know that the snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of this case exactly, but it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think. Don't you? So, do you mean to say, are the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in the Rancid magazine? They're fake! All written by me, yes, and on my wonderful and very modern typewriter. But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson. Susato-san getting more and more worked up. Ah, yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? That's all true too. I am a doctor of medicine. No! At 10 years old? At 10 years old. Well, that's quite incredible. I know. She got her life more figured out than me, honestly. She accomplished so many things than I have. I barely even do anything in the house, and I don't... Whatever, the only accomplishment is a third-degree black belt, but honestly, anyone can do that. So... I feel insecure now, but... Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling. Oh. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow. That is true. And kind of suspicious, honestly. I suppose it does, yes. Poor Susato-san. She looks like her whole world was just falling apart. But doesn't mean they're not real, Susato. It doesn't mean all his cases are fake. It's still him. It's still real. Who cares if it's like a man or a little girl? The stories are true, based off on true events. And here's your deductions just now. About before. Yes. What's on your mind, Reno? Do tell me. How did you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London, I mean? Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please, tell us how you did it. Explain every detail. She's so excited, holy shit. Of course, I'd be delighted. Although, there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin. Iris is proud to present her logic and reasoning spectacular. Holy shit. He's like, oh, just zoom in. First of all, I knew already that you were a lawyer, Reno. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber. And I think the bad show. But you also said that we only arrived in London. How do you know that? Bro, do you still have the ticket in your pocket? What? I observed a passport and travel tickets protruding from your breast pocket. Oh! So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. But you can barely tell that's a passport. On top of that, this is only looking from him. You accepted a case against a particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs. It's me! I am the prosecutor! The Reaper of the Bailey. And walked right into that one, didn't I? What the fuck? Susato! Since when he had that stamp on it? It's a unique tattoo. And then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited a local prison to meet with a suspect, weren't you? Earlier today? How did she know? Do you use those stamps to keep close eye on comings and goings, you see? Oh, I didn't realize. And the red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. Really? So that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilden, the two of you already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face, so I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led to me to believe that you must have accepted a new case. I see. But how could you know that the trial is tomorrow? That's true. Well, having barely been home for a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling. A Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been Mr. Natsume. Aw, poor him. Now, Runo has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit's called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that both of you come from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending a Japanese man, Hurley Khan. And there was only one conclusion. Those facts could lead to me too. Oh shit, I'm running out of breath now. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. You're better than Herlock Sholmes. Holy shit. There's a note in the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley's always stabbing his notes with a knife. You know, he is silly. And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. She did a better job than Herlock Sholmes. Can we have her around with us to solve our cases? Like, holy shit, she's smart as hell. Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct? Well, except for what? Actually, no. They were spot on. That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction. You even managed to search on something of Mr. Sholmes' delivery. Oh well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. I thought you were gonna say, well, it's actually my style. He took it from me. This is really very good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please? I will not. It was like, I don't know anything about it. So yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man. You were saying? Yes. Hurley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage. But the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene. Ah, the great detective is a popular man, it seems. Apparently, a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had been seen a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene. A short, shifty-looking, stooped man? Mr. Natsume beyond any doubt. Sosei-san said that he didn't see anybody else on the street at all. But it seems there were witnesses after all. Weird. Maybe the other side of the map. The other side of the map? The other side of the road, I guess? Hurley used his great deductive powers to determine the man's address. It was a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking, stooped man shivering in fear. Mr. Sholmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time. Of course it did. He is a great detective. Well, he wasn't that great when we first met him. He got me wrong. He got Ryunosuke wrong. He thought he was Russian. Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it? Definitely. We have no time to investigate it properly. Hurley says that London is a rife with crime. Oh. Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently. Ah. Oh dear, I hadn't realized that the situation was so dire. It's like Gotham City. There's always crime everywhere you go. From left to the right, it's either the Joker or the Penguin. Oh well, shut up, Ricky. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. That's terrible. I suppose it's harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system. I suppose it is, but in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Sasuke-san. Yeah, what if they're innocent? Thank you for answering so many of my. Oh, sorry. Thank you for answering so many of my questions, Iris. Our questions, I mean. This has been very informative. Oh, you're most welcome. I have so much fun. Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you guess, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well. Oh well. Well, I expect Hurley is still investigating the scene. Of the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, Mr. Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where those lodgings are? Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? I guess they are. Did you happen to cross a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there? Oh, yes, we know Inspector Gregson. Oh, goody. In that case, give Gregsy this from me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know. What is this? Bribery? We're gonna bribe a cop? Holy shit! Let's go commit a crime. Forgery. Actually, no, it's bribery. A 5-shilling piece of a postcard, it seems. Iris' postcard has been entered to the court record. Iris' postcard. A card for Inspector Gregson with a message on the back from Iris. Really cool thing, but sometimes the evidence that we have doesn't necessarily mean it's evidence for the case, but for us to give to other people. That's the first thing in this game, honestly. It reads, tell the gentleman in the black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem. Gosh, This will make the inspector help us, will it? Wasn't he already helping us, though? Well, thanks. Well, thank you, Iris. I'll give it a try. Good luck, then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. And I'll be making more special blends of tea, so come back again soon. We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris. Aww. They're gonna be besties for life, I guess. Well, Mr. Naruto, it's back to the scene of the crime. Back to the crime scene. Yes, it is. So, somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. I know, right? It's like, here, take this card. Like, take this card and we'll like, and give us some information, please. Like, come on. We headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coin in hand. It's not that heavy. I don't think it is. To be continued. Oh man, but not for me. Well, for you guys. Well, for me, I'm still gonna record, but for you guys, it's probably on Thursday that I'm gonna post this next video. So, but yeah.